Since 1946, the Marines have worked with helicopters to refine their military use. Beginning with Eisenhower, the president has always had a helicopter team to get him into and out of locations all over the world. HMX-1 is the squadron that has supported that mission with a commitment to precision and safety. The public most commonly knows them as Marine One.
I've been in the Marine Corps for 13 and a half years and a pilot with HMX-1 for the last 2 years. My job is to fly as co-pilot for Marine One and as aircraft commander for the aircraft supporting Marine One. Our job is to transport the President and anyone who travels with him from place to place where cars and airplanes won't work. It's a tremendous responsibility. It's one we've got to get right every time. 1 to 2 times a month I'm on trips anywhere in the world, sometimes on short notice. We fly the President, we fly in support of the President, fly the Vice President, and wherever that may be in the world. So it takes you to some pretty interesting places. We fly other VIPs in the helicopter. I've flown personally the Pope in New York City. I've flown flights in support of the Queen of England down to Jamestown. Some of my peers have flown people like the President of South Korea, the President of Afghanistan. I've flown Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, who's the top Marines. You always have to put the job first because it's going to trump any family commitments that you have. If you've got something very important to do with the family, you might get that phone call that says you are leaving. The President is going to this or that location, and HMX is always going with him. The mission comes first, the job comes first, the Marine Corps comes first, and unfortunately it's tough on the families, but they understand. We came into this knowing what the job was going to be like. She's gotten used to me being gone a lot, where that has kind of become the norm, and we even joke around about it, where I say, hey, I'm going to be available this weekend, and she even comes back and says, we'll see. No, you're not. And sometimes, unfortunately, she's right. So it's tough, where she says it's like being a single mother sometimes. So she's gotten used to doing a lot of things, from the leaky pipes in the house to lawn care and everything else. So she doesn't always like it, but she understands. Now she's having to explain that to the kids and everything, or at least our 4-year-old is starting to understand that of, hey, Daddy's going to fly the helicopter again. So I get a lot of little complaints from her of, oh no, going to fly the helicopter. And I said, yeah, I'll be back in a week or so. My father was in the Air Force, and then my grandfather was in the Navy. Great uncle was in the Army, both of them in World War II, and then my wife's grandfather was a Marine. He was actually the only other Marine in the family, and he was at Guadalcanal and some other places in the Pacific. So he's kind of one of my idols. Those three primarily was the 3 combat vets in the squadron, or in the family rather. As a kid, I just idolized those guys. Where to hear that my great uncle was a half-track driver at the Battle of the Bulge, to me that just meant the whole world, and that my grandfather was on a Navy ship with kamikaze pilots coming after him. The way I look at it is, we're back here in the States, we're back here in the rear, relatively out of harm's way. So the people that are really doing their job, the guys in Afghanistan, the guys in Iraq, I don't feel like I can complain being back here in the States, staying in a hotel most of the time, when some of these guys are out there really, the infantrymen, people doing 14-month tours in Afghanistan and tours in Iraq and all that. Those are the guys that are really making the sacrifices. I'd just say thanks for your service. That's about all I can say to all these people that are veterans. I did a combat tour myself in Iraq a few years ago, and there's a lot of people out there that have made the ultimate sacrifice. There's a lot of people coming back wounded from overseas, and I would just want to say thanks to all those people that have ever served in the U.S. military. Hopefully I'll take away that work ethic that the military ingrains in you. For the Marine Corps, their big ethos is honor, courage, and commitment. I'm hoping to take that commitment, that drive, that never say die attitude that the Marine Corps instills in you, and hopefully turn that into some success in the civilian world. If someone asked me 10 years ago, what do you think you're going to be doing, I would not have thought I'd be in a helicopter flying the President of the United States. So it's still quite a thrill. And the family's real proud too.